a earthbound spirit or something or someone a personality that needs help,
sure,
I can help them out a bit. But on the other hand, there's a lot of stuff out there that doesn't want to move, doesn't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to move it until it wants to.
Now, quick question.
I also love, I hang out with like hoodoo people and Santeria people and Pentecostals, and I love religions. I have such a respect for all religions, and that's what powers me more than anything else. This is unbelievable interest and seeing the similarities between all these religions, and that's to me is what powers me.
I really respect your open-mindedness, because not a lot of people are that open-minded about it, you know, where you just kind of take it as it is, and you learn from it.
Exactly.
Well, would you say you're a religious relativist? I mean, do they all have meaning to you? Are they all paths to the same place?
Absolutely. The names have changed, but the essence is all the same to me. Mm-hmm. And when you start really breaking into almost every religion has the do unto others thing. Almost all religions have the Cain and Abel type stories. There's so many of them that are just like so close. And when I really start thinking about it, I realize that somewhere innately in our human being, we need, way back in the hunter-gatherer stage, we needed to make sense of the environment around us. Yeah. And I believe a lot of that's really ingrained in all these religions and all these traditions are offshoots of that need. And I think it's universal. I think there's so much out there that's universal that comes back from that hunter-gatherer stage when we needed to survive. And I believe a lot of it is innately within us. And I think it's just all these religions are external. My big thing is, of course, even though I consider myself a spiritualist, I'm a spiritual person, not a religious person, because religions are created by man, which is what messes them up eventually. But your spirituality is a covenant between you and your God. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about it. And when you find someone who has that true belief, you sit there and you feel it. You can feel that the buzz off of them. And I'll sit there for hours. My friend Utu has studied with masters in New Orleans, and he is just an unbelievable person. And I sit there and I can listen to him speak for hours and never get tired, because I see truth in what he's saying, even though the whole dressing of it is not maybe palatable to me. But if I look past that, I can see the truth that he's talking about. So I'm telling you, that gives me the greatest high in the world.
You know, and that's the thing, like with religion, when you really look at them, by and large, almost all of them are just trying to do the most good.
Yeah, basically, yes. And it's people, it's humans that kind of just change its courses. But if you go and you break everything down to its basic component, it's all for the good. It's all for the good.
Well, Tim, I got to ask you, are demons now, switching gears to the dark now, and it is there, no doubt about it, it is there. But is it as prevalent as they would have us believe, they as in the media, because every time you see, a lot of these paranormal shows, that's negative, that's demonic. Really, Tim, how often do people run into the big bad D word?
Well, first off, spiritualists don't believe in angels or demons, and we don't do heaven or hell too well. I'll just tell you that right now. I used to work with an exorcist with a Western Rite Catholic Church, and we used to argue about this. And one day I kind of realized, you know what? It's just a name. And there's some really... And I'm going to come right out and tell you, whether or not you believe in demons or not, I personally believe in really nasty vibes and some nasty spirit personalities who, when they passed, we believe that they don't change too often, that quick when you die.
Sure.
This stuff can do it, but it is up to the individual to accept or reject. And that's where a lot of people have problems, because they feel if they're influenced or if they experience something negative, all of a sudden now it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where oh, you know what? I'm going to do whatever this thing wants me to do. And that's where your infestation and obsession and all that comes into just before temporal possession. And it can happen whether you believe in demons or not. The bottom line is that you have to make sure that your spirit, your spirituality is one, and your belief system is just strong enough to go and say, no, I reject this. No. A lot of times, these things will attach to objects. Sometimes they attach to locations, and it'll try to wear you down. However, you have to say no. And I'm going to be honest with you. There are some locations that are just, locations that
just toxic.
Infestation, yeah. Hinsdale is still getting people, kind of messed up.
Why not destroy it, though, Tim? You got a place like that. Why not just destroy it?
No, I love Hinsdale because it's it's a piece of our mythology.
Sure.
Whether or not it's truth, it's a piece of our mythology. So I think it's so important to save it. But to me, I believe that's the perfect place to study the paranormal.
Gotcha.
Something that always is going on. And I mean, I was down there, like we talked before, when I first went down there in 2011, we had stuff going on left and right. It's not as active as it was. Of course, places get fished out. However, if you let that place set for a week or so and go up there and you start working with EVPs. I mean, we going up there and I've set up 2 dynamic mics, piped it through a mixer and into my laptop, and I've got some pretty neat stuff that goes on. I mean, it's a constant place. So I believe a place like that should be saved so we could go up there and actually study it. I'm a firm believer in that.
Well, a question was posed to me the other day, and I don't have an answer. Maybe you do. Why do we never run into caveman ghosts? Why do we never run into these, prehistoric ghosts? Where are they at? I mean, what happens? Do they transcend? Do they leave this realm? Because they're kind of right. Very rarely do you hear anyone come up. No one's come up yet with Ark the Caveman on EVP.
I'm still waiting to see my first ghost dinosaur myself. I'll be honest.
Wouldn't that be great?
I'll be honest. Hey, I was an amateur paleontologist for years. I'm still looking for that. But, it's funny. I'm a firm believer that we are creatures of memories, and that I believe that our essence, the true vibrational essence of ourselves, are contained in memories. And when the memories cease to exist, true memories which run through our ancestral lines, I believe when they cease to exist, I believe that our essence, our personality ceases to exist. So, that could be one of the reasons really why, because you got Neanderthal, that the lineage is gone. You've got all the little hobbit people, the lineage is gone. So why is that? I don't know, but I feel that I feel it has to do a lot with memories. And the other thing is that I believe that Valhalla, or whatever you want to call heaven, you know what that is when we strip off and we have no personality left. There's nothing left of us except the essence of the universe, and we become one with the universe. That to me is heaven. That's the end of the road.
Well, that's nirvana too. I mean, that's the essence of many, and there's a lot of religions that believe exactly what you just said, that it is about the memory. I mean, even as close as Mexico, right? You got the whole Book of the Dead and the theories that are put forth, for the Day of the Dead. We must remember these people. When the last person who remembers that person goes, then they're gone. Real quick, because my God, we're running out of time. This has gone so fast. I actually wanted to get into this in more depth, but at some point in the first half hour, you mentioned thought forms. I am fascinated with thought forms. Can you just give us your overview of what a thought form is? How are they created? What are they? What do they mean?
Thought forms, really quickly, are the concentrated, focused intent of an individual to create something or someone. Normally, they are they're just sort of mindless, and they become part of your own self, an extension of yourself. However, in certain aspects, such as the Philip experiment in the 70s, these thought forms, whether or not you create a bio for them, or whatever. I believe that sometimes they take on these thought forms, these balls of energy. I believe that they can take on a thought or a personality. And back in the 70s, when they were experimenting with it, they had given this thought form a bio, and the bio was wrong, and it changed the bio and gave them the right answers that nobody knew about. So I believe that thought forms are you can go and you can create a thought form as protection. You can create a thought form to do your will, such as in curses, such as in healings. But mostly thought forms I believe, are the extension of yourself. And I use a thought form whenever I do healing, or if I'm doing, crisis readings, so that, sometimes I feel the pain of somebody passing, an aortic explosion or a heart attack. I start feeling that. So I bring that and I push that into my etheric double, which is a thought form, so that the etheric double possesses that physical pain that I'm getting. So the thought forms are very, very useful in so many different things. I mean, and people have been using them for years, generations.
So you use it as a shield, so to speak, to take on the pain, so you're not enduring it.
I do, but there's 1,001 other uses for thought forms.
Wow.
Fascinating.
I didn't
even
realize.
know that.
Yeah, no idea. I thought.
So it's almost like an avatar.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great description for it. It's not really there, but yet it is. And it is of your making, of your choosing, of what you want it for.
Mm-hmm. And it can be good or evil, really.
Exactly. It depends on your intent.
Yeah, it's an empty vessel until you create it. Yeah, absolutely. That's fascinating. I mean, we've done shows solely on thought forms or topos, whatever you'd like to call them.
Yep.
And it is really a fascinating subject. We did almost a true crime one some years ago. Olivia Mabel, she was allegedly killed, at least that's what people think, by a thought form. Mm-hmm. And so what a fascinating case. So now, Tim, we're almost out of time. We got to plug away, man. How can people get a hold of you? Where can they get your books? And what can we expect from Tim Shaw in the future?
Well, right now I'm on a thankful hiatus. I just finished my last event last weekend, and I'm going to take a couple months off just to go refit and get some new lectures ready for the next year. You guys can get a hold of me. Go check out my website at www.timothytshaw.com, and you can find me on Facebook, because I think Facebook is the devil and I am possessed by it. I love it.
Evil Mark Zuckerberg has possessed us all. Possessed all of us. Very, very cool, Tim. Thanks a ton for coming on the show. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It always is, though.
I got to tell you guys are great. You guys are sharp, and you guys do your homework, which is sometimes not the case when I get interviewed. So you guys, give yourself a pat in the back. I love you guys, and seriously, thank you for bringing me on, and thanks to everybody. Thank you to everybody out there who's listening in and just enjoying me like prattle on like an old washerwoman.
You're always welcome back, Tim. You know that open door policy for you, my friend. Thank you.
If anything I can do for you guys, you let me know.
Oh, thanks a ton, Tim. Eric, we're at the end of another show. They just fly by so fast. So fast.
And so many topics that were just barely
scratching that surface, barely doing it. And it's what
absolutely have Tim back.
Oh, absolutely. But in the meantime, take care of each other, love each other, buy Tim's stuff, and also stop by and get your copy of America's Most Haunted, the book. I have been contacted. Yes, we will throw in some new locations. We'll sprinkle those things in. Do not worry. But until then, go over to Amazon, get your copy. I'll check out all of Tim Shaw's stuff, too, while you're over there as well. All right, we're out of here. Thank you for listening to this edition of After Hours AM. And please remember to like us on Facebook and also follow us over on Twitter.